Hey everyone, Jennifer Martins here. I am celebrating today. It is my 10-year anniversary with my Scentsy business, and I'm on here to share with those of you who have actually never heard my Scentsy story before. So I want to take you back when I was growing up as a teenager, even as young as 10 or 11. I always wanted to work for myself. I didn't know what that would look like. I just knew that I wanted to be my own boss, essentially. And so I had tried a few other things, a few other direct sales companies, and they just weren't the right fit for me, and that is totally okay. It was a good way for me to learn some differences between different direct sales companies and to find my own fit. So I actually came upon Scentsy in a very unusual way. I was set up at an event for vendors at the local school. I had taken the product that I was selling back then, and it was not something that I was very good at. I will tell you that it was scrapbooking and cards, and I'm actually not a very crafty or creative person. I had to copy all the ideas from other people, which was okay, that was allowed, but it just wasn't really my fit, okay? So I was there and I had set up my booth, and I looked over to the side and I noticed that there was a girl there, and she had a big banner and it said Scentsy wickless candles. And my simple mind could not wrap itself around, what is a wickless candle? I don't understand what that is. So I went over to her booth, and she actually explained to me that she was in emergency services and had been at the scene of many fires. And so she kind of made it her side job to tell people about Scentsy being a safe alternative to a traditional candle because it is a light bulb and it melts wax at a low temperature. So there's no risk whatsoever of fire. There's no smoke, no soot, no flame. So you just turn it on and off like you would a regular light switch. And when you don't smell the wax anymore, you just pop that out and put it in the garbage, and you put in a new cube of wax. And I just thought this was the most brilliant thing that I had heard. At that time, Jacqueline, our daughter, was 4, and without really consciously realizing it, we had stopped burning candles. If you have kids, you probably know that if you light a candle, they are drawn to it like a moth is drawn to a flame. They want to touch the flame. They want to blow it out. Like, it just didn't work out to have candles on in the house ever. And like I said, it wasn't an idea that I had come up with. I just subconsciously had stopped using candles. So when I went over to this girl's table, immediately I smelled Scentsy, and that is really like, it was something that I didn't realize that I was missing. And every home smells like something. So every time you go to somebody's house, there's a distinct smell. And so I wanted to make sure that when people were coming to my house, they were not smelling my pug. They were gonna smell something nice. So at that time, we did not have very much money whatsoever, basically living paycheck to paycheck. And so I knew that if I hosted a party, I would earn free and half price products. And so that's what I did. I hosted a party, and I had friends come over, and I reached out to people who I knew had kids around the same age as mine, or who had pets, because I figured if they were afraid of their cat or their dog knocking over a candle, then this would be great for them as well. So that's kind of how I started. I had my friends over, and the girl who introduced me to Scentsy, she did the party. But unfortunately after that, she went MIA. We could not get a hold of her. She wasn't answering emails or phone calls. And so really I was kind of embarrassed, if I will, that I had introduced my friends to this girl. Now, I should say that I had 5 of my friends who came to that party, and they were like, wow, Jen, this is amazing. I want to host a party. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. I'm sure she'll do a party with you. So when we couldn't get a hold of her, I had to make this decision. And I did not go into Scentsy with any intention of becoming a consultant. I just wanted to introduce my friends to this amazing product. And I had done that, but then when the consultant was not doing her job, I decided that I had to step up to the plate. And I did that because I personally felt an obligation to my friends who I had introduced to this product and they loved it, and now they were not able to get it. They weren't able to share it with their friends. So on September the 15th, 2011, so 10 years ago today, I'm getting choked up. I decided to join Scentsy. So my initial intention was that I was going to get the starter kit and I would do the 5 parties that my friends had wanted to have. And then that was it. I wasn't actually going to be a consultant. I wasn't telling anybody about it. I wasn't doing it. And so that's what I did. I called my friends and I let them know, hey, I know you wanted to have that Scentsy party. It's going to have to be in October because I didn't know how long the kit would take to get there. I didn't read the agreement. Like I was terrible. I was like how not to be a consultant 101. So I called my friends. I said, hey, listen, you have to do your party in October. But it can't be, it's like Canadian Thanksgiving, it's Jacqueline's birthday, it's my birthday, it's Halloween. So basically you can choose one of these 2 dates. And so, they all hosted their parties in October. And, something that was new to me that I did not know was that Scentsy pays us once a month for the previous month's work. And I will tell you that this was new to me. Everything else that I had ever done, if your order cost $100, then you would remit, say if you earn 20%, you would remit $80 and you would keep $20. And then what always happened with me in those instances is that I would then buy something because it was $20 that I basically had. So I would either spend it on something for $20 or I'd buy something for $40 thinking, okay, well, I'm only paying half price. So that's really how I kind of was used to the payment plan with direct sales companies. So with Scentsy, it was totally new to me. I remitted the full amounts. And then I didn't know anything. I didn't look, like I said, I did not read the consultant guide. I didn't know how much money I was making. I didn't know anything. And so lo and behold, on November the 10th, we get paid on the 10th of every month. On November the 10th, I got a paycheck. And it had been for more than I had earned in the past 3.5 years selling my other product. And so I thought, wow, okay, I wasn't even trying to be a consultant doing this Scentsy stuff. I just did it. I did these 5 parties just because I kind of felt obligated. And even at those parties, I had friends who were at those parties and they would say, oh, Jen, I want to host a Scentsy party. And I was like, no, sorry, I'm actually not a consultant. It's kind of a whole thing. So back to November 10th, I get paid and I decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to book those parties, the people who wanted to host parties from the October parties. I'm going to do them as long as I do them before Christmas, and that will give us a little extra Christmas spending money. And so basically, like this is a real gloss over of my story, but that's basically what I did. I did those parties for those people in November, and we had a fantastic Christmas that year. And then in February, I met my upline, Megan Clements, who has become a very dear friend and mentor to me. I met her at a pizza party that I actually had not planned to go to. I had a team member who had joined my team. That was another thing. People were like, I want to do this. I'm like, do this with me. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. And so I met Megan with my downline at this pizza party that we were invited to. And I actually didn't identify who she was in the room. I should tell you too, I did not do any trainings. I didn't watch any of Scentsy offers us amazing trainings. I didn't do anything because I was not planning on being a Scentsy consultant. So I was in this room with all these people and all kinds of people. And that really stood out to me, that there were all kinds of people, all ages, races, genders, it didn't matter. And most of us were in jeans and t-shirts. And I thought, like, this is a little bit different than what I'm used to in direct sales. And so Megan got up and she spoke, and she was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Actually, I don't think she was wearing jeans. I'm positive she was wearing Lululemon pants and a t-shirt, and she's just the sweetest thing ever. And she stood up and she shared her Scentsy story. And I was really blown away that this person, who is actually younger than me, she has 3 kids, one with special needs. She has, her husband was a lawyer, and she was doing Scentsy, and he at that time had been like thinking about stopping being a lawyer to do Scentsy with her. And I could not wrap my mind around that. And so I left that pizza party with my downline, and we turned to each other in the car and we said, okay, we are going to become directors. I don't know why we thought directors. We had met a number of directors at this thing. We were brand new, and we're like, we're going to be directors by the end of this year. So that's what we set out to do. So September, by my anniversary, my first anniversary with Scentsy, September 2012, I promoted to director. At this point, my love for Scentsy had just grown. I'd gotten to know the company. I had done trainings. The more that I got to know how the company is run on these core values of authenticity, simplicity, and generosity, the more it resonated with me personally. And so I really started to fall in love with not just the products, which I love. I think every home needs to have a warmer and wax. I just do. And our catalog has gotten much more robust over the last 10 years that from when I first joined. But I really started to fall in love with their notion of inclusivity, how anybody is welcome to be part of the Scentsy family. And so that really spoke volumes to me, that you didn't have to look a certain way or have a certain amount of training, or it was not cookie cutter, which I really appreciated. I loved that this top leader in Scentsy, my upline, Megan, who was a superstar director, or is a superstar director, stood up with jeans and a t-shirt on. There was nothing, I don't want to say fancy. She's not fancy, and she knows that, and I love her, and she knows that I'm saying that in all honesty, but there was not an air of superiority over anybody else in the room. So whether you had come as a visitor, whether you had come as your first day with the company, or whether you'd been there for a long time, there was never this sense of one person being more important than anybody else. And so that was another reason that I really fell in love with Scentsy. I loved that we did not have to have any inventory. In fact, they suggest that you don't have any stock, which is amazing. I think that's really great for a company. Troy and I ended up going to boot camp in, I think it was 2012. Sorry, I think it was 2013. We went to boot camp. And Troy and I went, and we sat with Heidi and Orville, the owners. They sat with us at lunch, and Troy was drilling them with all kinds of questions and whatever. And they were just super humble and honest. And their whole, I don't know what the word is, but they believe that with your Scentsy income, 3% of your Scentsy pay should go back into your business, and 97% of your pay should go to your family. And that is unusual. You don't usually hear that in any business, but especially in direct sales. And so that really spoke to us as well. I promoted to Star Director in November of 2012. I had two of my amazing friends in downline who came with me to what was our convention, which we refer to as Family Reunion. Again, something totally different that no other company I know of does. We went to Family Reunion. They fell in love with Scentsy even more. They became directors. I became a star director. And then now, 10 years later, I'm a superstar director, which is the highest title in Scentsy, but I don't say that to be boastful. I just say that it's because I stayed the course. I continued to do the things that I did from the very beginning. It's the love of the product. It's sharing that with people. We're not a pushy company. If you've ever met a pushy Scentsy person, that is an odd apple in the family tree. That is not our norm. That's not normally how we do things. We don't, hey girl, like we're not that. There's something very different and very special about Scentsy. And so all that to say is I'm so grateful that you are here and that you're listening to my Scentsy story. If you've been considering doing something, I would of course love to talk to you about if Scentsy is the right fit for you and your family. But without further ado, we will cheers to 10 years and many more. Thanks so much. Bye.